Hello, and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 372. Welcome. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say a few words, I'm going to read you a blog, and then I'm going to sing you a song. And that's the story. Most of you know that already. Welcome, everyone. Today's blog is inspired by the reactions to a piece that someone I know wrote. I met that person. Well, actually, I've never met her in person. I know her through social media and blogs and whatnot. And this blog, actually, in particular. She reached out to me after the TDF blog. I don't know if you all remember that. It was back in, I want to say 2012. It was my most popular blog at the time, certainly the most viral of any. It was called "In Which My Tolerance for Sexism in the Theater Reaches a Breaking Point." And Monica reached out to me because of it. Anyway, so I know her and also don't know her because I know her only online. But I've known her for a fair amount of time now. 2012 was a little while ago. So anyway, this is in response to a piece that she wrote in the Washington Post, which was then received by people in some real crazy ways. Most people were very sensible, but there were some bonkers reactions, and some of those reactions came from people I was also virtually acquainted with. So it was a weird circle of people I don't know personally, but do know virtually. Anyway, there goes a motorcycle. Mostly I try to edit out the motorcycles. They're not usually quite that loud. So anyway, that one will stay in just for, authenticity's sake. Are you really in New York City, Emily? Yes, I am. Here is a motorcycle to prove it. Feels like there should be more noise to prove it, which I'm sure the city will happily provide for us during the course of this recording. Anyway, I'm going to read you now this blog, which is just about some of the responses that I saw to Monica's post. And here it is. It is called "Writers Aren't Magic." A writer of my acquaintance recently had an op-ed published in the Washington Post about theater and what should be done about the death spiral it seems to be in. In the piece, she proposed some ways to fix some of the problems the field has found itself in. She named the difficulties, the history, and offered a solution. In watching the response to the article roll in, I was struck by how those who were opposed to her ideas seemed to think the proposal was a plan that was about to be put into place. They seemed to think this was a thing that was about to happen. One thing she suggested was to give funding for big arts institutions directly to artists instead. There were cries for the loss of these institutions, for the loss of jobs, for the impossibility of artists taking responsibility for their own budgets. It seemed like they thought this writer was a wizard and was giving notice of what she was about to do with her magic wand. They seemed to attribute great powers to this writer, to imagine she could, with a series of words in a major newspaper, transform the whole of American theater, whether the American theater wanted it or not. I mean, if only. If writers had the ability to write things and make them so, I'd be pretty psyched. That's the end of sexism, everyone. No more racism or ageism or ableism. We're all good. Because I wrote a proposal. I have the magic pen. Stand back. No one has the power to make change that universally, at least not in this country. A writer may make a suggestion, and individual people and institutions might think it's a neat idea and do something about it. But wide sweeping systemic change doesn't happen just because someone wrote a suggestion. I laughed when I saw this piece about theater roll through my social media, and over again, folks in my circle said, "This is what I've been saying for the last 20 years. I feel like I have said similar things over the years, but just not in this framework and not in a major newspaper. But regardless, no one ever complained when any of us said that funding should go to artists directly. No one thought that would be happening immediately as soon as they read the words. No one was mad at us about jobs being lost in the future because of our ideas. Why an op-ed should be different, I don't know. Ideas are ideas. They are not actions. This writer is not the czar of theater, charged to make enormous changes. We have no czar of theater, and no one with any overarching power over the field at large. There is no one who can shift the entire landscape of a field without a lot of participation and action and organizing across the land. People didn't like this idea? Fine. They don't have to do anything about it. They can try and go on as they have always done, or make another suggestion. Or, I guess someone could write it in the Great Wizard's book, where everything we write comes to pass. If anyone could direct me to that book, I'd really appreciate it, as I would love to make sweeping change with just the power of my words. That would be a pretty neat trick. It's just not a trick that exists yet. So, everyone who's worried that the theater is about to be taken over by artists and that big institutional buildings are going to fall into disrepair, well, I think you can relax. We've been talking about this sort of stuff for decades, and people are still building big fancy buildings. One opened just today in New York City. And artists are still having trouble making a living. The status quo may be under threat in that a lot of theaters are folding, but it won't change overnight, and it won't change without a very big push from a lot of people. Nothing that anyone writes can change it in an instant. We can just contribute to the conversation and hope that one day things might be different. The more ideas we have to draw on, the better off we'll be. So the theater that opened the day I published this blog is called PAC NYC, or the Perlman Center. It's not got a catchy name, gotta say. Anyway, we happened to be in the neighborhood that it is in a couple weeks ago. And wow, it is not a welcoming building. You know, there are buildings that you look at and you go, yeah, I feel like they want me to go in there. This building it's like forbidding. Like, it's like, we dare you to try to get in here. I mean, it's crazy. It's like this big kind of ugly cube with this like highly inaccessible staircase. And there did seem to be a sign for wheelchair access, I guess, in an elevator. Elevator, must be an elevator. But we walked along that side of the building, and I did not see an elevator. So I don't know. It was a very expensive building. I know several people who were involved in sort of their opening celebrations, and I guess that's cool. Like, I'm glad they're giving some locals some work. But you know what the city doesn't need is more expensive theaters. It needs a lot more cheaper theaters, but it does not need, like, people like to build the world-class performing arts centers because donors like to fund them. But we can't, there are plenty of world-class performing arts or like places. It's not like, like big act acts, like, I don't know, like a fancy show from the National Theater is like, oh no, where will we perform? And by the National Theater, I mean the British National Theater. We do not have a National Theater here in the United States of America. But, it's like no fancy like company is like desperate for a place to perform. They'll find there's many, many options. So this is the kind of space we don't need. And yet, here it is for us. Hooray. Anyway, I've seen it. I haven't gone inside because it did not look accessible. In fact, I believe there were police like barriers standing in front of the very steep looking staircase. Anyway, I think I will continue to have thoughts about this particular space until someone buys me a ticket to go see something I want to see there. And then I'll be like, oh, it's great. No, that's not true. I'm sure I will also still have opinions once I get in there. And trust me to share them with you. Thank you very much. So the whole uproar around this piece in the Washington Post has now completely died down. It was months ago, obviously, but nobody cares anymore. This is how the like cycle goes. People get outraged for about a week, and then it's over. Now no one cares that all theaters are dying. So not all, some, several, a few. Lots. Anyway, I don't know. So, what song am I going to sing for you? Well, I looked up some magic songs, because why not? And I was like, what's the song where it's like, uh-oh, it's magic? And then I remembered, oh, it's the Cars. And it seemed like just the right song. It's not, it's not about this kind of magic, but it is about magic. And I decided to do it in sort of lullaby style. I figured there's nothing babies like more than uh-oh. They love to say uh-oh. Like they love a mistake. They love the sound uh-oh. So I was like, this one has got to be for some kids. So it is on ukulele with a sense of lullaby within it. So I'm going to play that for you in just a moment. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. It's really great to know that you're here. I mean, my podcast app now is so full of podcasts. Even podcasts I don't listen to because there are so many, and then they all get lost in the feed. So if you manage to join me through all of that, like waterfall of podcasting, it is really quite special, and I thank you. If you would like to support this podcast, that would be amazing. You can do that in so many ways. You can like, review, subscribe in your podcast apps or, wherever you like. And if you'd like to support it with your dollars, that would be so cool. It's patreon.com/Emily R. Davis. There's also Ko-fi, there's PayPal. I've got a Substack, though, as I have mentioned before, no one has yet joined on the paid level. So, but it's there. Should that be your method of choice? And if you have a different method of choice, please tell me what it is. I'll join it. What the heck? Why not? So yes, and mostly, again, thank you for pulling this little episode out of the great podcast stream. It is really so cool of you. And here comes this song, which I thought was called Uh-Oh, It's Magic, and is in fact not. It's just called Magic by the Cars. Unfortunately, I have learned that Rick Ocasek of the Cars was a real so-and-so and did not treat his wife well. Maybe also his kids not so well. I don't remember. I read a whole article that Paulina Politskova wrote about what a so-and-so. I'm not sure exactly the quality of his terribleness, so I'm just going to go with so-and-so. I don't remember. I did, but as I read the article, I was just like, this so-and-so. Gah, can't believe it. So that's a drag. I mean, but I I feel like he was like the rock star that I was like 2 degrees away from because, well, no, that's not, there's a couple of them that are I'm 2 degrees away from, or a degree away from. But anyway, I felt a sort of weird proximity because I went to college with Paulina Portskova's brother. So sometimes Paulina Portskova and Rick Ocasek would show up at the college, and we all were like, ooh. Anyway, we didn't know he was a so-and-so. My goodness. Anyway, but I like this song. So-and-sos sometimes write good songs, unfortunately. Anyway, here it is on ukulele. It is called Magic. Summer, it turns me upside down. Summer, 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 it's like a merry-go-round. I see you under the midnight, all shackles and bows, high shoes with the cleats a-clicking, a temperamental glow. Well, don't let me go, I gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you, I gotta hold on you tonight, gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you. That's right. Uh-oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Just a little magic. You know it's true. I gotta hold on you. Oh, twisted under, sideways, down. I know you're getting twisted and you can't calm down. I see you under the midnight, love darts in your eyes. How far can you take it until you realize there's magic in your eyes? I gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you tonight, gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you, gotta hold on you. That's right, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Just a little bit of magic pulls me through. I gotta hold on you. I gotta hold on you. Gotta hold on you. Gotta hold on you. That's right, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic when I'm with you. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. Just a little magic inside of you. Uh-oh, it's magic. Just a little bit of magic. It's true. Uh-oh, it's magic. Uh-oh, it's magic. You know your magic pulls me through.